Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the channel. My name is Michael for ClubLexus.com, and today we're taking a look at the 2022 Lexus ES300H F Sport, and this is actually a prototype that Lexus sent us over for review because this is the first year that Lexus is offering the F Sport package for the 300H. Okay, so very simply, the F Sport trim level or F Sport package is effectively a visual and performance handling package. It doesn't give you any more power, but what you're gonna get is a few visual upgrades, particularly on the outside, and you're gonna get an upgraded suspension, and then you're gonna get upgraded seats on the inside. So first up, you're gonna get this cool blacked out grille, which I think is the best option, particularly with this color scheme with the ultrasonic blue. I just think it looks fantastic. You're also gonna get these glossy black wheels, which come with, let's check out the tire size, 235 40 R19s all the way around. These are all-season Michelin tires, not particularly sporty, but not sporty either. You're also going to get a few blacked out pieces there, and overall it just makes the car look a little bit meaner, even though this is a commuting hybrid. On the inside, here's our list of features with this particular one, which MSRP for this one is $52,260. And the other amazing feature that you get with the F Sport package is you're going to get the F Sport interior, which includes these awesome heated and ventilated seats. Guys, I have Recaros in my Boss 302 Mustang, and these seats, while not quite race car seats, they're very, very close to it, and they're very comfortable. They're a good compromise between truly sport seats and just the normal standard seats. I absolutely love them. They're very comfortable, nicely bolstered, and of course heated and cooled. You're also going to get the F Sport steering wheel, which is a little bit kind of sporty with the, you get the paddle shifters and the perforated leather, and it just fits really nicely in the hand. And then the last thing is you're going to get an actual suspension package, which just makes the whole car feel a little bit more sporty. It's kind of more like driving, less like driving a luxury car and more like driving, I guess I'd say, a European sports sedan. So that's kind of the feeling that you're gonna get from the F Sport. So those are the main features that come with the F Sport package. The standard engine on the ES250 is a 203 horsepower inline four. When you get the ES300H, that's the hybrid model. And what Lexus does is that they add a hybrid electric motor system, and it bumps power up to about 215, so it's a little sportier. And then of course you can get the ES350, which is 302 horsepower. So if you want the super sporty one, you get the ES350 with the F Sport package. But this one is designed for commuting and designed to get the most gas mileage. Lexus says 44 miles combined. I've personally been seeing, according to the computer, about 33.5, but I've also done a bunch of 0 to 60 testing as well. I tend to not be really good at getting good fuel economy, but it is a very economical car. I usually get much worse gas mileage when I'm testing Mustangs and the IS500 and testing trucks and all that sort of stuff. Getting above 30 around town, or in mixed driving, I should say, is really awesome. Oh yeah, we also got the triple beam headlights. I mean, there's a big sticker on the inside, which I'll show you, that says that this is a prototype and we shouldn't judge it. But it's still so nicely made. And I love this color. You guys, the camera isn't even doing it justice. It's just so sparkly and beautiful. Oh, absolutely stunning. Got a moon roof. Yeah, absolutely love that. Okay, folks, sitting in the captain's chairs and these amazing F Sport seats. Again, here's another look at them. I absolutely love these seats. And here we've got the kind of the white and black two-tone look, which isn't something I'd personally get being a father. Got this big, awesome touchscreen. This one has the Mark Levinson sound system with the navigation package. So we got this big touchscreen that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in. It is super nice, super refined. We've got our dual layered climate control buttons right here. Nice and easy to change the temperature, and got a tuning knob. I'm down here. We've got the USB-A ports and an auxiliary radio port, and there's this little kind of hole area that I like to put my phone into. You've still got the trackpad if you don't want to use the touchscreen itself. Got your standard shift knob. You've got an EV only mode button, which is really neat, but you can only go really up to about 20 miles an hour before the engine kicks on. This is kind of cool. It's an extra cup holder, and you can make it really deep or make it kind of, depending on the height of your cup. I love the storage bins in these things because it opens from the driver's side and the passenger side, whoever wants to open it. I think that's a super neat trick. The only thing that's wrong with this is that I think this is the wireless charging right in here. The only thing wrong is that I wish that Lexus would put USB-A or USB-C ports right in here so that you could completely hide your phone in this cavity if you wanted to, charge it. And, because the only problem is there's no wireless CarPlay with this. But that's really my only note. If this thing had USB ports in here and this had wireless Apple CarPlay, the whole interior would be absolutely perfect. Over here you've got the digital gauge cluster, which is very familiar to anybody who's driven a Lexus. It has this lovely piece of metal in the middle, which started with the LFA supercar and now has kind of made its way down into all the other vehicles. And when you press this button on the dash, it moves aside and you get your little trip info, which you control over here, and you can get directions, audio, lane assist, messages, and then you've got some functionality features here that you can fiddle with. This also has the head-up display, which is a great feature, because what I really like to do, as I've been testing this out to see if I'm actually using the engine, I put it in sport mode, which has the tachometer as well, but the head-up display will show in more kind of the eco mode, so you can see whether or not it gives us this, like whether it's regen or whether you're just using the battery or if you're using the engine as well. So it's kind of a neat kind of coach to help you drive more economically. But otherwise, pretty standard for the ES. It hasn't changed too much for the 22 model year. You've got heated and cooled seat buttons here, heated steering wheel, and the rear shade button, which comes up. By the way, the car is on right now, but because it's a hybrid, it has not turned on, which is also super cool. Yeah, you guys, so basically just a lovely mid-size sedan. A little bit, front wheel drive platform, so it's not the sportiest platform, but more room than the IS series as a whole. This ES, it's basically the fancy Camry, and I think it's really well appointed and really nice, and it's a great place for commuting. So speaking of which, why don't we go for a drive? All right, here we go. It's not fast, but it's peppy, I guess I'd say. All right, guys, driving the 2022 Lexus ES 300h F Sport, which is the first F Sport for the 300h. So very interesting, the idea that you're going to take your most economical version of your sedan and also make it sporty, but this is a very interesting car to drive, and I actually really like it. I was surprised. Every time Lexus is like, hey, do you want to check out the ES? I'm like, I don't know. A mid-sized front-wheel drive sedan. It's just not something that I personally would be in the market for, but every time I get into one, they're just so lovely. Like in this case, every time you start off, you're sitting in stop-and-go traffic. The hybrid system is kicking on. It's quiet and comfortable. And what the F Sport adds to it, it gives you those visuals, it gives you these amazing seats like we've already talked about, and then it gives you the dynamics of every other F Sport package. It's not exactly, a full racing suspension, but it just makes the whole driving experience feel more like you're in a German sedan. And that's kind of, I think, the benchmark for these things. Here's some little corners. Brakes are good, not great, but very good. And it's just a nice, tight, level car. It handles really nicely. You're obviously, no one's taking this auto crossing into the track because the front wheel drive system would be weird. And with this hybrid setup, it's not the fastest thing on the road. What's weird about Toyota hybrids is that they don't publicize the torque figures, which I think is weird because every time you do a hybrid system, you're adding extra instant torque, which is going to improve more than just horsepower. And you know, I find it strange that Lexus and Toyota don't share their findings. For example, like when Ford does it with their Power Boost, they like to tell everybody how much extra torque the truck is getting and what a benefit that is. And I can feel that here. You know, this doesn't just feel like a 200 horsepower sedan. And yeah, I mean, it's peppy. There's a touch of torque steer that you can feel in the steering wheel, and there's this mode dial here, which kind of gives a little extra weight to the steering wheel between normal and eco, and then in sport mode, it's kind of heavy. You know, there's no real steering feedback, but again, this is just a real pleasure to drive. It's really comfortable, but it's got the tightness of a Cadillac sports sedan, of a German sports sedan, and those types of things. And of course, the Lexus F Sport sedans. You know, it's a nice handling package. The only thing I'd say is that, you know, if you are someone that is looking for something luxurious and comfortable, if you have a bad back, you know, those types of things, I would skip the F Sport trim level altogether, just because it's just a little tighter than I think you would want. But overall, it's just a lovely driving vehicle. And you know, you can drive around in pure EV mode with a very light touch under about 20 miles an hour. And then if you're at higher speeds, it's mostly when you're coming to a stop or just sitting in traffic. It's just turning off the engine and saving you fuel, but you can also coast. This is not a plug-in hybrid, so it's a, you know, set it and forget it type system. It's the best compromise until we get to the full electric future. I don't really like plug-in hybrids because they're such a pain. They add all the cumbersome nature of the EV-ness that you have to plug them in to charge them and buy a charger and you wait for that extra stuff. And this is just, the computer does it for you. It's thinking for you, it's doing everything, and it does a really nice job. If you are just looking for something that is quiet and comfortable and will save you on gas, pick one of these up. And if you're, you know, someone that likes to turn with a firmness and with a clarity and a direction, you know, this F Sport could be for you. This thing has a little bit of everything. It's got the great radio, air-conditioned seats, and, you know, the dual climate control. This is just a great place to be if you have to spend a lot of time in cities, particularly commuting. Okay, folks, there we have it. Our first look at the 2022 Lexus ES 300h F Sport. What do you guys think about it? Do you think that the hybrid model should have an F Sport? Do you think it's a good idea, bad idea? Are you interested in such a thing? Would you buy one of these for your daily? I think it's an absolutely amazing daily driver or commuter when you don't want to waste your sports car sitting in gridlock traffic and driving around a city. This would be an absolute perfect car for LA, for a medium-sized family, when you don't want an SUV, when you have the luxurious seats, you have the better looking black trim and black wheels, and of course you have that suspension which you can really enjoy in the twisties in any type of corners. It is a little bit of everything. Part sports car, part luxury car, you know, part economy car. It's a very interesting driving, and like I said, one of the best commuting vehicles you could buy if you live in a crowded city environment where you want that hybrid and you haven't gotten an electric yet. Anyway, really enjoyed my time with this prototype. Thank you so much, Lexus, for sending it over. I love this color. Keep making it, or versions of it. I hope you all are well and safe. Please like, subscribe, share, do all those things. Links to our social in the description below, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers, bye.